Okay, so I'm really grateful to have you all with us today and for joining our virtual open house. My name is Molly Berger and I am the middle school principal. Oh, I shared the wrong. Okay, I hope that you can see my screen. I'm getting a big thumbs up. So, all right. So I really want to take time to explain a little bit about middle school in general. This may be a new concept for you and our middle school in particular. So again, I'm Molly Berger. I'm the middle school principal. I've been the principal here for 9 years, and my own children graduated from SSIS. One started in grade 8, the other in grade 10. So I'm very familiar with both this program as an administrator and as a parent. And I've been a middle school administrator for a very long time. I think this is like my 20th year of being a middle school administrator. It seems to have gone by in a blink of an eye. And there's a good reason why. So middle school is one of my favorite ages to work with. And this picture captures a lot of why. So middle school is typically grades 6 through 8, although you may see different ranges. And for our students, they're typically between 11 and 14 while they're in these grades. And it is a period of intense growth for students in all aspects of who they are as a person. So obvious ones are physical. So we start to see children change dramatically between the time that they're 11 and 14. And that growth often is equivalent to the same kind of growth their body has gone through when they were an infant to become a toddler. So if you think about that time period in your children's life, that's what they're experiencing in this age range. And it's not just physical. Their emotional needs and understandings are changing dramatically. They are understanding themselves in a very different way, which plays out in how they socialize and what they see as social interactions and what they want for their social interactions. And then finally, all of those things are happening at the same time that they are having an intense growth in their intellectual capacity and capabilities. So modern brain research has shown us that this time period truly is a critical time period for our children to be able to grow and develop into the fullest person that they can. And I think that's one of the reasons why I adore middle school, because we have the opportunity to really look at these children at this period in their life and help them to flourish. So when we think about middle school, there are certain characteristics, and what we follow is a program called This We Believe, which is the Association for Middle Level Education. And one of the things that we want to make sure is that a middle school is responsive and challenging. So what does responsive mean? Responsive means we need to meet the needs of these ever-changing adolescents. So that intense period of growth, we need to make sure that we are attending to where they're at in that process. And when you looked at the picture, you saw lots of different sizes. So we remember that it isn't just the sizes of the students that change dramatically and at different paces, but it's the other characteristics, the emotional, the social, and the intellectual. And we want to make sure that at our middle school that we're responding to them where they are at. We never want a student to have a feeling like, well, it was decided in 6th grade that I was this kind of learner, or I was this kind of friend, or I was this kind of athlete. No, we want them to see themselves as ever changing in that process. And that requires lots of responsiveness. One of the things we focus on is having experts in middle level education at our middle school. So at SSIS, all of the middle school teachers are middle school teachers. That is where they want to be. That is where their training is, and that is where their expertise is. And because we have such a talented faculty and we have a wonderful program, we have lots of programs that support the needs of students as they go through this experience. So we have things like academic support programs for students who want or need more support in their English language capacity. Maybe they need support in their learning styles and their study habits. Maybe they need support in their social emotional growth. Maybe they need support in development of friendships. There may be lots of things that they need, and we have the programs that support that. This brings us to the second characteristic, which is challenging. So middle school is a bridge between the elementary version of education, where you're mainly with one teacher and you're learning everything with one smaller group of colleagues or peers, your friends, where we'll get to high school, where it becomes highly specialized, very academically rigorous, and you're mixing around with lots of different kids of lots of different ages. So middle school provides that bridge. We provide an opportunity to say, okay, so you're coming from this environment, we're going to slowly grow you to this other environment. And because of that, in middle school, we see that the academic rigor, again, takes another jump up. So elementary school is rigorous. And when they come to middle school, they'll begin to feel that increasing. And then again, they feel it increasing when they hit high school. And then they feel it increasing when they hit college or university. So it's this gradual stepping stone. And at SSIS, we use the middle school to create a really nice bridge between those two programs. Now, the increased academic demands, we'll talk about a little bit later when we talk about the courses that children take in middle school at SSIS. There's a few more characteristics of middle school that I want to take a moment to share with you. And these are three that I think are incredibly important. So one is empowering. So one of the things that we really believe in middle school is that this is the time to empower students through using their voice, through giving them choices and opportunities to demonstrate the application of their new skills. So in this process, they really learn to develop their sense of self, their independence, and their responsibility. Now, they're new at this, so this empowering feature also creates opportunity for failure and for mistakes, which we think are the best thing in middle school, because then they have the opportunity to recover, to be resilient, to develop grit, to figure out what they do when things don't go well the first time. And that, again, is one of the pieces that is a characteristic of a very strong middle school, is a program that gives students opportunities to learn, grow, fail, grow, learn, fail, grow, fail, all of it resulting in a very resilient and well-developed sense of self, a well-developed sense of advocacy, being able to ask for and get the things that they need to be successful. And that is a skill that will take them well far into their high school and university career. The second characteristic on this slide is equitable. And when we look at our middle schoolers, again, in this picture, you can see they're of all different sizes. These are all 8th graders. They're not all different ages. They're actually all kind of in the same age range. So we want our experience to be equitable for all of our students. We focus on our core value of respect for all in this particular category. And we want to help our students develop the mindset they need to be a collaborative, cooperative learner, to be a collaborative, cooperative partner, to be a collaborative, cooperative friend. And in this, we value the process of growth through all of that. And the last category or characteristic I want to share with you, which what makes a middle school, is the engaging learning environment. We want to make sure that for our students, the learning is relevant, that they have opportunities to apply their learning in all kinds of different situations. So whether they're working on a project or a problem-based learning experience, whether they're doing service learning, whether they are working on their Model UN speeches, whether they're doing a debate in social studies, a play in drama, we want them to feel that it's connected to them directly, that it's relevant to them as a person and as a learner. And that's the way that we know it's really going to set into their mind and really help them grow as an individual in this time period. So there's going to be lots of experiences at SSIS where they are pushed to do much more critical think, or to expand their critical thinking, to expand their problem solving, and to expand their capacity for all of the academics. And for a middle school student, that's what makes it engaging. That's what makes it really exciting for them when they come to school and they experience the education at SSIS. Now, what do they actually do? Well, we have a program of studies and it is on the website, and I highly recommend that parents take a look at this because it gives you a snapshot of the kinds of courses that our students take. So there are core classes. So I've got the list of them here on the screen. So they take English, writing, math, social studies, science, and PE. They also every year take a technology course. And then they also take modern world language or perhaps English as an additional language or learning support. All of these designed to help build from our elementary curriculum and be fully aligned to support them as they enter high school. With each year, the academic demands increasing and hopefully students increasing their skill along the way so that it's an appropriate challenge for them. Now, of course, this is the bread and butter of a school. This is what we're all about. And we're also about our electives, about offering programs for students that help them explore other aspects of who they are. So they're a writer, they're a reader, they're a mathematician, they're a scientist. They explore in lots of areas. In addition, we want them to think of themselves as artists, as dancers, as actors, as musicians. So these are courses that we offer in a variety of ways throughout the year in different grade levels for students to experience these kinds of courses. And I have to say, I am so excited that we are offering dance for the first time next year. That is going to be so exciting to see this new opportunity for our students. When you look at the program of studies, you'll also see that there's other aspects that we include because we see the whole child and the program deals with all aspects of who they are. So in addition to the academic side, we have other programs that help support them. We have a very rich and robust advisory program. An advisory program is when our students are paired in small groups with one teacher who has them all year and actually sees them every day. In the advisory program, we focus on the positive psychology and the pillars of that. So we want our students to experience positive emotion, positive relationships, positive meaning, positive accomplishment, positive health. And the advisory program curriculum focuses on those aspects and takes students through the year through all of those aspects. Now, we want application. So where do kids apply these new skills that they're getting? Well, one big one is Week Without Walls. Now, I've included a picture here. These are students in grade 7. They built this raft that they are attempting to race. They are the tree geckos and their own team. And you can see how proud they are of what they built. Now, if I recall correctly, they made it about 3 feet before their raft started falling apart. And then they had to problem solve how to get their raft through the course and back. And they ended with the same smiles on their face, with the same laughter, because they grew through that entire experience. They had to work together. They had to learn how to deal with frustration, and they had to end up at the back on shore with the same camaraderie that they left. So, of course, we aren't traveling outside of outside of Ho Chi Minh right now due to COVID, but we still are including Week Without Walls experiences of a type that's safe, that is appropriate for our current regulations here on campus or in Ho Chi Minh itself. But we aspire to return to this kind of experience where we do get to travel for almost a week with our students. Another program we use is House League. So that's the top picture. You can see those are the Red River Raptors, and they are giving it a go as they are tugging war against another house This is a way to build camaraderie, to build a sense of belonging, and to build some fun experiences into the days for our middle school students. We also have special programs. Dragon Days is a 3-week orientation program we do every year for all grade levels, all students in middle school, that helps develop their academic skills, their study skills, and their transition skills as they move from one grade to another. We have a program called Dragon Time. It happens 2 to 3 times a week. And it's a time when students can see their teachers. They can use it for study hall, for tutorial, for interventions. They can retake their assessments. And really, it's that opportunity to practice advocacy. They think about what they need, and they're able to go see their teachers to meet those needs. We also have other programs like a buddy program. The bottom picture there is of the grade 8, grade 1 buddy program. So they partner up together, they learn from each other, and they enjoy building relationships across the divisions. And as you learn more about SSIS, you'll see that there are many of these kinds of buddy programs that we utilize between elementary and middle and high school and elementary. So it's across all the divisions. And there's always more. Our students love to participate in after-school activities, sports, clubs, and organizations. And I know that you have an opportunity to hear directly from Ms. Davenport, who directs these after-school activities and sports. I will tell you at SSIS, a very special thing is about 85% of our students participate in one or more sport. So that's a competitive sport. And we hit 100% when we start including academic or after school activities as well. So our students are very, very busy. The photos show at the top our Global Issues Network. They often raise funds for different projects. This particular project was TET Boxes of Hope. They recognize that there are children in orphanages who often don't get the celebratory aspect of TET. So they developed boxes that contained certain kinds of materials that would really fill in the gap for those children in orphanages who wouldn't necessarily have the TET experiences as they personally get to experience. So this is them boxing those up and getting ready to deliver. You can see a sports team. And then the other picture is actually of our student council, our middle school student council, which was one of our clubs and organizations, meeting with an architect. And they are helping to design the new middle school building that will be built on campus, hopefully beginning this summer. So our students are involved in the community, they're involved in the region, and they're involved right here at school making important decisions through their extracurriculars. The last thing, I know we're coming to the end of our session. I think that's what the timer's counting down to. There's a video on our website called Connections, and I think it does a really good job of helping show what is special about the middle school. I am sorry that I did not give us time for questions, but please maybe put them in the chat quickly and I will get back to you with those answers. Tanya, are there any questions in the chat now?
There are not questions in the chat now, but parents may also submit questions in the main chat if they don't have time to do that now. This room will close in about 30 seconds, but we'll be able to address those there.
I will stay in that other one and I will respond directly to any questions. Thank you so much for listening to what the middle school is all about here at SSIS. And I hope that I answered many of the questions you might have about SSIS, the middle school, and how your child might fit in with that.